Hello everyone. In the present lecture we shall be discussing about Gauss test and its related numericals. So first let us state that if summation n is a series of positive terms such that an upon an plus 1 can be expressed as 1 plus lambda by n plus gamma n upon n raised to the power 1 plus lambda. 1 plus delta. Here lambda is any real number and delta is a positive real number such that this sequence gamma n is bounded sequence, then the series summation n is convergent if lambda is greater than 1 and divergent if lambda is less than equal to 1. So let us go. Proof. We know that gamma n is bounded. It implies there exists a positive real number k such that modulus of gamma n is less than equal to k for all n. Okay, and this implies modulus of gamma n divided by n raised to the power 1 plus delta is this expression n raised to the power 1 plus delta. This approaches to 0 as n approaches to infinity because it will be you can see this expression is less than equal to k upon n raised to the power 1 plus delta, which approaches to 0 as n approaches to infinity, and it implies gamma n upon n raised to the power 1 plus delta approaches to 0 as n approaches to infinity. Right. Now from the given expression, see n upon n plus 1 is 1 plus lambda by n plus this expression. So from here we can calculate an upon n plus 1. See from here minus 1 is equal to lambda by n plus gamma n upon n raised to the power 1 plus delta. And if we multiply with n, then what do we get? N into this is this upon n raised to the power delta, and then we take limit n approaches to infinity, limit n approaches to infinity, limit n approaches to infinity. On the right hand side this part is 0 and this is equal to lambda, and therefore what was this expression? This is the expression for Rabi test, and by Rabi test this series summation n is convergent if lambda is greater than 1 and divergent if lambda is less than 1, and Rabi test fails when lambda is equal to 1. Okay, so the series is convergent. It is clear that this series is convergent if lambda is greater than 1, divergent if lambda is less than 1. Now what about lambda is equal to 1? So when lambda is equal to 1, the given series will be in case when lambda is equal to 1, what do we have? An upon n plus 1 minus 1 into n is equal to lambda is equal to 1. So it is 1 plus gamma n upon n raised to the power delta. Okay, next we do De Morgan and Bertrand test. So subtract n minus 1 again. N upon n plus 1 minus 1 minus 1 is gamma n upon n raised to the power delta. Next we multiply with log n on both sides, n into n upon n plus 1 minus 1 minus 1. We are making the expression for De Morgan and Bertrand test. Okay, so this is gamma n into log n upon n raised to the power delta. This is the expression for De Morgan and Bertrand test, right? This is for lambda is equal to 1. Now take the limit on both sides. Limit n approaches to infinity, limit n approaches to infinity. Okay, as this is bounded. Okay, so this is less than equal to k times limit n approaches to infinity log n upon n raised to the power delta, and we know that delta is positive. Okay, this is a fixed number we have taken earlier, and this is log n upon n raised to the power delta. Limit n approaches to infinity is in infinity by infinity form. Okay, so by L'Hopital rule, this is less than equal to k times, when we put the limit it is 1 upon n upon delta n raised to the power delta minus 1. Differentiating numerator and denominator, it is 1 upon n upon delta n raised to the power delta minus 1. This is k upon delta n raised to the power delta, and when we take limit n approaches to infinity, limit n approaches to infinity, limit n approaches to infinity, this part is 0 and 0 is clearly less than 1. Okay, so by De Morgan and Bertrand test, when this expression has limit less than 1, this series summation n is divergent. So this is most important test because this is the only test which do not fail at equal to 1. So the series summation n is convergent. Convergent if lambda is greater than 1 and divergent if lambda is less than or equal to 1. This test never fails. So this is most important test. Okay, and this is applicable to many kind of positive term series. So let us take some example related to Gauss test. Let us have an example. The first example is test the convergence of the series 1 raised to the power p 1 by 2 raised to the power p plus 1 into 3 2 into 4 raised to the power p, then 1 into 3 into 5 upon 2 into 4 into 6 whole raised to the power p, and so on. So whether we are whatever the series we are taking, first task is to form an. What is an? Okay, see, if we want to see the pattern, it starts from the second term because the numerator contains the odd terms and the denominator contains the even term. So for testing the convergence or divergence, let us neglect this first term because the convergence, divergence or oscillation will never change if we omit some first finite number of terms of the series, right? So neglecting the first term, the given series will be this 1 by 2 raised to the power p and all these expression. Compare it with summation n approaches to 1 to infinity. Then what is an? So clearly, if we want to calculate an, see, first term, the numerator and denominator have one term. In the second term, numerator and denominator two terms. Third, numerator and denominator three terms, and in every term the power is p. So in n, whatever the expression it is, the power is p. And in nth term, numerator and denominator both have n terms. See, one term, two terms, three terms. So in nth term, each numerator as well as denominator contain n terms. And what about the numerator? It has first n odd terms and denominator have first n even terms, the product. So it is 1, 3, 5. What is the nth odd term? It is 2n minus 1, right? And in the denominator it is 2, 4, 6. And what is the nth even term? It is 2. So this is our an, right? Now, in the Gauss test, first, in every test, whatever the test, it is ratio test or rabbit test or logarithmic test, first we want to find an upon n plus 1. So let us check an. Then n plus 1 is 1 into 3 into 5 into 2n minus 1, then 2n plus 1 upon 2, 4, 6, 2n, and the next term is 2n plus 2. Replacing n with n plus 1, we will get 2 into n plus 1, that is 2n plus 2, and whole raised to the power p. Now we calculate an upon n plus 1. So if we calculate an upon n plus 1, it will be this. All the terms which n terms get cancelled out, and the remaining term will be 2n plus 2 upon 2n plus 1 whole raised to the power p. Okay. So if we take 2n common, 2n raised to the power p, it is 1 plus 1 by n, and 2n raised to the power p common, 1 plus 1 by 2n. whole raised to the power p, whole raised to the power p. It will get cancelled out, and then we take the limit n tending to infinity is limit n tending to infinity. It will be 1, and therefore a ratio test fails. So when ratio test fails, let us apply Gauss test. Okay, what we do in Gauss test is that from here it was 1 plus 1 by n raised to the power p and 1 plus 1 by 2n raised to the power p. So what we do, we leave the numerator as it is and put the denominator in the numerator by taking the power minus p. So it is 1 plus 1 by n raised to the power p and 1 plus 1 by 2n raised to the power minus p. Now we expand both of these expressions with the help of binomial. Okay. As in case of a Gauss test, what we do? We make an expression of this form. We express en upon n plus 1 as 1 plus lambda by n plus order of 1 upon n raised to the power 1 plus delta. Here order of 1 upon n raised to the power 1 plus delta means the next term will be 1 upon n raised to the power 1 plus delta means n square, n cube and higher order terms which can be neglected. Okay. So this O means other terms will be like these and higher powers of this. So this is expanding this both expression with the help of binomial. It will be 1 plus p by n, then p into p minus 1 by 2 factorial into 1 by n square and so on, multiplied with 1 minus p by 2n minus p into p plus 1 minus p minus 1. So it is minus taken common out, p into p plus 1 by 2 factorial into 1 by 2n square means 1 by 4n square and so on. Now what we do? We take multiply this. Okay, 1 then multiplied with 1, it will be 1. Then the terms containing 1 upon n, which comes from when p by n is multiplied with this 1 and this p by 2n is multiplied with this 1. So what will be? It is p by n when multiplied with 1 and this p by 2n will multiply with this, it is p by 2n. These are the only terms which have factor 1 by n common. Next, the terms with 1 by n square and higher order terms. Okay, all other terms will contain 1 by n square as common. So what do we have? This is 1. It is p by n and minus p by 2n. So it is plus p by 2n plus order of 1 by n square. Again I am saying order of 1 by n square means the terms containing 1 by n square and higher order terms. So if we compare it with lambda by n, what do we have? Lambda is p by 2. Okay. So the given series is convergent if p by 2 is greater than 1, convergent that is p is greater than 2, and divergent if p by 2 is less than equal to 1 or p is less than equal to 2. So the convergence or divergence of this series depends upon this p. If this p is greater than 2, then the given series is convergent, and if it is less than equal to 2, then the series is divergent. Okay, that's all about all the tests I have discussed for the positive term series. So if you want to check which test is more applicable, so keep in mind, when the expression containing, first we'll apply ratio test, and if any series contain the power n in the nth term, we will apply a root test. Okay, and if the ratio test fails and the expression en upon n plus 1 contains e means exponential, then we apply logarithmic test. Otherwise we apply rabbit test or Gauss test. Thank you. Have a nice day.